Hey, we've got some great things for you today. We've had a pretty good winning streak with our predictions. They've all been right. So we'll check today if our last prediction is a winner as well. And then we're going to talk about trading, actual profits we make trading, how much money you could be making. Big hint, it's a lot. So have we got your attention? Hello, everybody. Lee Duffy has joined me from the UK as always. Now, an interesting fact is that the reason Lee is the one who shares the predictions with you, he's the one who created all this stuff. So there's a reason because he's the best in the world at it. He's the one who coded it. So thank you, Lee, for doing all that.
Well, hopefully it's going to help a lot of people make a lot of money, and it's going to help a lot of people protect their money. So
that's true.
Very happy to share what I know with anybody who we can help.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that I've, in this capitalistic world, which we want to make money and everything. One of the things you've always said to me that I really thought was, just amazing. And it is genuine. You want to help people. We've talked about our future and things we would like to do and help level the playing field. So, take big banks a little bit out of the equation more and everything. I mean, we have some high, lofty goals, but we would really like to help people. And that is one of the things that you established with this from the very beginning, even before I knew you. So appreciate that. And hopefully we will be able to help a lot of people and help them keep their money, help them protect it, all that good stuff, which is what we always talk about. So folks, it's genuine. Speaking of predictions and Lee being the one who gives them, we did skip the prediction last week. So let's go back to the prediction we made on the 25th and see if that was accurate.
Right. So if you recall, when we made that prediction, it was on US dollar as the instrument, which is also known as the euro. And we'd had a pretty heavy day of losses on that particular instrument that day. The price had got down to 1.096 when we made the prediction. And I think you're going to be surprised, but my prediction was 1.11 to 1.12 again. We had the price go up in the very next day to 1.10945, which means we missed our prediction of 1.11 by 0.0005 something, which is very, very little.
We can call that a win too, right? I think.
So, yes, I think that's a win. That's a win.
Missed it by a smidgy.
By a smidgy.
Thing is I can say for both of us, I think we did not expect to be right every time. This is actually scary to me because people are going to expect us to be right every time. We're not going to be right every time. We just happen to have been right every time we've done this. We will miss it, but if you're following it right now, hey, enjoy. Future prediction, we're not always going to be right. That's a prediction that we know is going to come true as well. So let's enjoy the wins while we've got them, and let's look at this week's prediction.
Right, thanks. So we're in a bit of a tricky situation here because you've got to remember that everybody in the world wants to know where euro's going. Right? It's one of the biggest currency crosses in the forex market. It's like 60 to 80% of the $5 trillion that changes hands every day. So it's vital that people know where this is going to go. So we're in a tricky position because the product is saying a couple of different things, and it's what happens next, which is where we're going to get our wins or losses. So I'm going to bite the bullet, and I'm going to go with a prediction that says a euro is going to go up in the next day into Thursday, because it's Thursday tomorrow. It's going to max out at 1.101, somewhere around there. And then it's going to come off, and it's going to fall quite heavily. And if it does fall quite heavily, we're looking at 1.094, even as low as 1.084, as potential pullback areas into Friday, into maybe next week. But we have to be very cautious here, because although we think that euro's going to come off, we also think that the longer term play could be long. And for the first time, we're seeing forecast spikes into the future of 1.14, 1.15, and even today, 1.16. So it could really come off and then go for another long period of time. However, we also know that we're going to use the MKT Risk Index and MKT Redline Pro to help us know the timing of these and when it's going to happen and if it's going to go in that direction or not. But we can't say at this moment in time when those may, if indeed ever, happen.
To summarize that really quickly, you use MKT Ghost, which is in our private beta or beta, which sounds much better when Lee says it. We have MKT Redline, which is the early warning system for negative market events to help you keep the money you already have. And then we have MKT Risk Index, which is much better than the VIX. It's based on data, not based on sentiment, and that's what you use to check your volatility. Use those in conjunction, and that's how you get these predictions and why they're so accurate. We just mentioned that MKT Ghost is in beta. One of the things we're working on is the first release of Ghost, and it's getting closer by the day. And it's not as complicated as some of the things you've seen in the past on the screen. So Lee is going to show you a little bit about that to give you a little sneak peek of it.
If we look here, what we can see here, Kim, is this is the price of euro US dollar, which we've shown many times before. And what we can see here, this is the price. It's a very simple idea. Where you've got lots of groups of green, it means it thinks it's going to keep going up in that direction. And if we keep watching it, it goes up, it goes up, it goes up. And then you get to this period here where it says, I don't have an opinion. So you might consider the move finished. You might bank some profit there. We can see here the price came down and then it goes in and says, oh, I think he's going to go back up again. What's cool about this is you get these nice, beautiful transition points where you can see it's all green, 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 and then it starts to become all red. You know something's going to happen before it happens, and that could be a trading opportunity. Just look at the juicy distance you got there. That's 60 pips. To a trader, that's well worth having.
It's juicy.
It is juicy. That is juicy. But imagine you were here and you look at this from this perspective, there's even more juicy profits to be made. I mean, we're going down here. This is like 100 pips. The view has changed, and that can help you in your decision-making for making trades.
So everybody keep in mind that this is a private beta. We will be doing a public beta before we release it. Let's talk about actual trading and look at an example of the real results a trader using the MKT Redline tools is getting. Over the last 11 months, the average monthly profit has been 9.1%. And if that didn't get your attention, Lee, tell them about the compounding effect of the actual monthly results.
The actual monthly results, 288%.
288% profit. Let me say this another way. If you had $100,000 in that account 11 months ago, today you would have an additional $188,000 on top of the $100,000 you started with. And one more thing, all months since we started trading have been profitable. But it's not perfect.
Past performance is no guarantee of future results. This is not trading advice.
And it is always easy either. So that's how you get April 2023. So no one trades just by one thing, and our big loss was in sugar. But as we're learning, the MKT Risk Index can actually be used when trading commodities as well. So this is pretty crazy, Lee. Tell them all about this.
Well, more research is required, but we know that the MKT Risk Index can be correlated with a lot of different market instruments. And that is something we're actively working on now.
Yeah, so we are discovering more all the time. But one thing we do know right now is the profits have been fantastic. And, April was an anomaly, really. I mean, it was like It was only like a 0.5% profit in April. We barely made it. Let's be fully transparent about that. But we had months with 13.5% profit, things like that. Actually, we should show that graph right here. Let's do that. There it is. So that's the actual results. These things work, and we're learning more every day. And I think they're only going to get better because there's no reason to go anywhere but up. So to get these types of products we're talking about, first of all, you have to know what you're doing as a trader. That's a given, right? But the tools, every trader has good tools. They have a system they follow. You have to make sure your volatility is checked, know how much to risk. That's our risk index. People who have signed up for our risk index are going to be the ones who then are invited to the public beta of Ghost. So you'll be able to do that predictive analysis, tell the trending, tell where the prices are going to go of all 25 pairs that we cover, not just Euro US dollar. Then you also have the MKT Redline, which allows you to know if there's going to be some negative market events coming up. That allows you to protect the money you've already made. So those are the 3 tools. Hope you sign up. Go to MKTRedline.com. Visit us back here. Subscribe. Check and see if we're right next week, because we've been right. And yeah, we're going to be wrong eventually. But right now, we're loving it. And hopefully you like it too. So see us again next week. Thanks a lot, everybody.